An old friend has returned to Conan Exiles, and that is the Arcane Building Pieces. We last saw these all the way back in Age of Sorcery Chapter 1's Battle Pass, and now they're on the bazaar with a fresh coat of paint, but are they worth your money? Today, we're going to find out. Firstly, a disclaimer, this set was gifted to me by Funcom, just like all my other reviews that will in no way affect my opinions of this set, nor will it affect my recommendation or lack thereof. So without further ado, let's get started. The Arcane Builder Revisited bundle comes in at 602 Crom coins as of April 2024, and that is $5. The bundle contains arcane motif pieces, which are wall trims, door frames, doors and windows for sandstone, stone brick and reinforced stone. Now whilst we're talking contents, there is an immediate issue, and that is that the arcane reinforced door frame is actually missing from this bundle. It's on the contents page, but you can't build it from the hammer, nor can you spawn it in. Looking at the ancestral knowledge, it looks like they've messed up the numbers. The door frame has the item ID 611, and in the section you should get the door frame, you instead get the door, ID 610, and a duplicate knowledge of the window, which is ID 612. This is probably just a simple typo mistake. It has happened once or twice before, I think, and each time it's been correctly added into the bundle shortly after, so it's not too much to worry about, it will be fixed, but as of the date of recording, that piece is missing. In terms of the aesthetics, the arcane pieces have white stone with some brass or copper accents on some of the larger pieces, decorated lightly yet intricately with sorcerous patterns and sigils that are not only consistent across this set, but across pretty much every sorcery related item in general, which keeps a nice thematic link to those design elements. It also pairs really well with some of the reskinned arcane banners that were in the bazaar a week or so ago, as they are also crafted from white stone. These pieces are recoloured versions of the original ones from the Age of Sorcery Chapter 1 Battle Pass. The original arcane motifs were black, whereas these are white. The devs did say they'd be open to repackaging old Battle Pass content into the bazaar in the future, and this is one of the first iterations of that. I think the white is perhaps a bit more of a bold choice than the black pieces from before. Some people won't like that as much, but I do think there are still some good uses for these pieces. The actual aesthetics and design, as I said, are solid, simple yet effective, nice ornamentation and accents, and the intricately detailed line work really carries the sorcery vibe. I said this way back when I reviewed the initial pieces. I do wish there were more variants for regular walls or roof pieces, but for what this pack is, the aesthetics remain solid, even with the colour change, and these pieces add a nice flair to otherwise fairly plain building sets. When it comes to building with this set, it's really quite easy. Everything basically works as expected, even the 2-tile high windows and door frames. They do have slightly stricter rules regarding clipping and what can be placed on or near them, especially in the middle of the 2 tiles, but nothing has changed in terms of building between the old Arcane set and the new one. If you were around to earn and use the Arcane pieces in the past, it's exactly the same. The wall trims are also incredibly easy to use and surprisingly flexible as always. I really think the wall trims are some of the most valuable items in this pack in terms of usage, and even now I'm surprised this is basically the only time we've seen wall trims in a bundle, as they are super useful for detailing buildings. Whilst we're on the topic of wall trims, let's pop over to this Aquilonian build. Why? Well, because the wall trims work exceedingly well here, complementing this material pack perfectly. It does the same for Argosian too, and honestly really suits this set. Here's a comparison of the wall trims with every non-arcane set in-game. The wall trims work nicely with some of the materials, others are a bit more neutral, and some are actively not good, or there's a degree of the wall clipping with the wall trims, which is a particular issue with walls that slope like Stormglass, or are a bit thicker in certain places like Arena. Overall, the building experience with the arcane set is really good. It works exactly as you'd expect, and it feels like building with basically any other set, the only exception being the wall trims, which require a touch more attention to detail, but they provide a very valuable level of detailing and elegance that I think makes the visual breaks on the build really easy, and honestly makes them somewhat of a standout in this bundle. So, all that considered then, is the Arcane Builder Revisited bundle worth it? Well, it is disappointing to see the Arcane Reinforced Door is missing from the bundle. That is most definitely a bug and will likely be rectified fairly quickly. I imagine it was just an error when putting the item IDs into the bundle, but still a bit sad to see. However, seeing as there is no doubt it's unintentional, that piece will be properly added to the bundle at some point in the future, and like the other bundles that have had similar issues, that item will be retroactively given to everybody who already owns the bundle when that fix is made. The aesthetics and the recolour of the pieces is very subjective. I can't lie, I do kind of prefer the originals, but I don't dislike this new version. It's punchy and very bold, and when it works really well, especially if you create a build using sandstone, stone brick or reinforced stone with the white pieces, as it carries that cohesive element across the build and honestly really adds something nice to them. If I'm being really honest, I do think the white colour makes the wall trims slightly weaker than the originals, or less flexible at least, but definitely not unusable by any means, and that recolour, whilst it doesn't work as great with some previous options, does open new options for the trims to work with sets it previously did not complement. Finally, the pricing. $5 honestly is not too bad. I expected closer to 10, but I think 5 is a lot more reasonable. As for the recommendations, well, it kinda depends. If you use sandstone, stone brick or reinforced stone regularly, or you think you'd make heavy use of the white wall trims, then I would recommend this set. However, if you don't like the stark style of the pieces, then I don't think this bundle is so much of a must-have that you need it regardless. Overall, I would give a decent recommendation. They're quite unique, the design is well made, and the price point is pretty reasonable. But the choice of the white stone will definitely be one that is slightly more subjective as opposed to the generally universal dark grey or black stone from before. Overall though, pleasantly surprised with this bundle despite a couple of issues. And there we have it, my review of the Arcane Builder Revisited bundle. Thanks for watching, and of course a massive thanks to our wonderful esteemed coffee cultists for continuing to support the channel over on Patreon. Do let me know your opinions in the comments below. I was very surprised by the price point. I do think the original Arcane pieces are probably a little bit more flexible. These are a much bolder choice, but I think that design also has its own merits. Ultimately, it's up to you. Again, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon.